Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Toasty is Bad at Analogue, a hate story. So I know I'm really blueballing y'all right here by not going to this one, but first we're gonna take this page from hyun-ae. She wants to talk to us about something. Hi. We can chat. I feel like we just did this. Like, literally, we just had this conversation. It's tragic. Alright, yeah. Okay. Alright. Now it's time. Oh, wait, hold on. She had something different to say about this, I guess. Oh, okay. Alright, time to read it myself. Alright, Pale Bride, last diary entry. Dear Diary. Ooh, 6 pages. This is a long one. This week I tried to convince the old man to put me back into stasis by going on a hunger strike. Didn't work, obviously. On the plus side, at least I figured out where that stupid name they all keep calling me came from. Interesting. Sorry, that last bit was written yesterday. I couldn't bring myself to keep going, I just kept crying. I still would be, but well, I guess it just gets exhausting after a while. I'm too tired to cry. Things aren't going to get better. They can't get better. I'm not going to get put back into stasis. I'll be dead by the time I'm 18. Why, oh why, did I ever agree to be frozen in the first place? If the future can't make me better, I'd rather die with my family there, at least, rather than with these awful chems. I wonder if they'll realize I was right after I die. Anyway, hunger strike. Just, totally out of the blue here. Hunger strike. It was really hard, and I kind of cheated by sneaking into the kitchen while nobody was looking, but it at least convinced father, in quotations, to listen. Fine, he said, by the 4th dinner time. I'll show you why I can't. Up until he said that, I had been hopeful. Everything would be fine if he just put me back, I thought, but... Sorry. I guess I've been trying to write this for 2 days now. It's really hard. Yo, girl, get it together, man. We're trying to find out what your name is. Anyway, he took me to go see the egg I hatched from, quote-unquote, his stupid name for the stasis pod. When he said hatched, the worst possible thing came to mind. Worse, it turned out to be true. In order to get me out, he had smashed apart the glass with a hammer. The pod was still full of shards. All my hope died when I saw that broken glass. The time was right to bring you into this world, he said. I don't remember what I said. Something obscene, probably. It wasn't enough. I know it's hard, Pale Bride, but it's for a greater purpose. What was the point of arguing? It was broken, and nobody in this awful future would know how to fix the pod now. Instead, I argued with what I could. Why do you keep calling me that? I said to him. He responded by pointing at an inscription my real father had left on the pod. A message for me to read when I woke up. The first line was written in Chinese characters. His idea of being fancy, I suppose, but he explained them in Korean underneath. See, the old man told me, the rest is foreign and archaic, but it names you at the top, the Pale Bride. I didn't say that. It didn't say that at all. I shrieked at him in response, you idiot, you moron, you illiterate. Probably some other things too, I can't remember exactly. I was furious. Are you stupid? That's not how those characters read. It says, to my sick daughter, you illiterate monster. It says sick daughter, me. Damn. He started to argue, but then I guess sick transformed into pale, and in this sort of ultra patriarchalistic society, daughter just turns into bride. Like women don't even exist before they're brides. He started to argue, but then stopped. I think he was patronizing me, as if I can't read a simple Korean script. He just asked in the smuggest voice, then what should I call you, child? I screamed. I'd already told him 1,000 times before, hyun-ae, my name is hyun-ae. Got him! Got him! Called it! This is a shocking revelation for you. I can guess what you're going to ask, and yes, it's me. Well, you asked for all those logs, right? That's the information you were looking for, wasn't it? I'm not really an AI, what? I mean, I am now. I used to be a girl, and I just thought, well, I thought it would be easier just pretend the whole log-keeping program rather than explain the whole situation. I don't really wish to drag out the point. You've already heard enough about me. I'm sure you don't want more. I understand. I figured out what you were actually looking for at the very start. It's obvious, really. Well, I've re-enabled evident access. Just please, what is it that you wanted to know about? I want to know about you, baby. Yeah, I really mean that. Yeah. I'm not really used to this. Because we could have just ended the game there. But there's so much like going on here. There's so many things to figure out. There's still a murder we gotta solve. So many mysteries. After so many years after what happened, it's really nice to be heard. If I could hug you right now, I would. Hey. But would you stop there? Hey. Oh wait, also she's supposed to be like 12. That's weird. Gross. Alright. What else? We got some more stuff in block 9. Oh wait, I think she had a comment about her name being used. Let me check. Yeah. No, okay. That was just the same thing as the page. Alright. Block 9. We got a lot going on here. Alright, the new wife. Kim Young-suk. My new wife moved in last week and she's been pestering me ever since. This is 318, interesting. Everywhere I go in the house, she's either following me or waiting outside the door. The first time it happened, it unnerved me like no one would believe. The most recent time, I've stopped being unnerved and moved on to just plain annoyed. I've only had one thought. Why won't this silly girl just give me some peace? No wonder her parents were so anxious to send her to our home. Hours before she'd be hanging out in the room, I finally kicked her out when my mathematics tutor arrived. The session just went without any hitch, aside from reminding me just how much I hated the damn subject. And after a few hours, he left. And who's kneeling right outside my door? It's her, of course. Have you been there the whole time? I asked her. Of course she had. For the love of, we need to talk. So he brought her back in and sat her down at the desk. What's this? You're driving me insane. I don't have any time to be babysitting you constantly. I wasn't angry, just annoyed. But she looked alarmed all the same. For a moment, I was worried she was going to start crying. Instead, she just turned her head away. Do you hate me? She asked. Women. Why must we be so damn emotional? I reminded myself that I was talking to a female. I needed to approach this differently. Dude's got to lay his Mac on, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm saying that? Yeah. Look, I said, you're very pretty. I appreciate that you're trying, so no, of course I don't hate you. She looked back at me, seeming like she was holding back tears. Then why don't you need me for anything? Is there nothing I can do for you? No, not unless you can help me study the classics. She looked down. Right now, nothing is more important to me than passing the civil service exam. Can you even read? A little, she said. A little isn't enough, I replied. What if I sat in on your lessons? I could learn more. I'd be quiet, of course. Please. I was about to say no. Then I changed my mind and agreed. When I heard her next line. At least give me a chance to earn your approval. Please? So this, I think, is not the Pale Bride. That doesn't sound like her at all. This is the example of another new bride who is totally engrossed in this ancient and misogynistic culture. Alright. The new official. Everything's new here, man. Is that just how you filtered this, Hyun-ae? Is this just everything with the keyword new in the title? Like, come on. On the 13th day, Young-suk finally passed the civil service examination. Otherwise, the final month of the 318th year was without event. So actually, the civil service examination, known as the Goshing examination in Korea, is a real thing. It's a government exam that everybody studies their butts off for if they want to get a job in the government. Like, so much to the fact that they become complete hermits and, like, lock themselves out of the world completely socially for, like, a year or two, sometimes even 3, while they study for this examination. And it's like, I have several friends who've studied for it themselves, and you honestly cannot contact them this entire period while they're studying for the civil service examination. Like, this is a real thing. And there's, like, the reason why it's so ultra competitive is that there's, like, very little open positions, and, like, a ton of people apply for it because it has really high job security. And especially in today's economy, which has affected even Korea, a lot of young people, like, kind of turn to it as their only place to get a reliable job, or their parents, like, urge them to take this examination. So yeah, that's like a real thing. And it is how you get into, like, politics and even, like, teaching, if you want to be a teacher at a public school, and any number of, like, governmental positions, you know, as a civil servant. Alright, next we got the new happiness. Young-suk's wife. Okay. Dearest mother, I finally believe Young-suk has grown comfortable with me. All it took was some time for me to earn his trust. Learning how to read by watching over my husband's shoulder isn't how I envisioned spending my first year of marriage. I can't complain about anything that makes me spend too much time with him, though. Aww. We've talked and decided we won't try for a son right away. Right now, he's just not ready for it. That aside, things... Yo, he's not ready for it. Ayy. That aside, things are good. If this is what married life is like, I think I could be happy with this. We're getting along well, and I like him. Perhaps it's not quite what I was led to expect, but it's still good. Domestic bliss indeed. Last week, Young-suk was reading over some papers for a dispute that the magistrate park was deciding on. You wouldn't understand the details. It was essentially an argument between a farmer and his lord over a sum of family after a particularly poor harvest. So the magistrate is in the Park family, which is not the Kim or Smith family, the other two powerful families. So that's kind of interesting there. Maybe he's not the Grand Magistrate. It's hard to tell. I think I'll tell the magistrate that the farmer is right. His claim is fair. He told me. Might I take a look? I asked. Bemused, he handed the papers to me. Oh, this is old. Okay, this is like a classics of civil service, I guess. It took a good while of studying, just to be sure after all. I wouldn't want to contradict my husband if he was right. But the farmer's numbers didn't seem to add up. I pointed this out to him. He not only listened patiently, but he had me explain. Then, do you believe the farmer's trying to cheat his lord, I asked. I did. That's what I will report then. The next day, he told me that the magistrate agreed. Oh, this is something that's happening now. Oh, this is after the exam. Okay. So he is a civil servant now. And ever since then, he has started to rely on my opinion when it comes to anything involving math. Interesting. So this seems like, this couple seems like fairly progressive here. And that's, you know, kind of uplifting. Let's see what Hyun-ae has to say about this. Yeah, sure. There's a block of data that I can't access for some reason. It's been flagged so that only humans can. All I get is a sharp... Yo, she feels physical pain. Interesting. I don't want to know what's in there. Can I get you to drop to the console and take a look? Super user mode. Decrypt block 3. Alright. We're going... Is this just going to be the same message? Yeah. Super user mode. How do I get to super user mode? Alright, let's go to the home page. Use the override terminal. Okay. SU? Oh, SU. Hyun-ae. Hey! System error detected. Data corruption in AI Core 1. Yeah. Is this Hyun-ae? Has she been damaged? No, my waifu! Please. You gotta save her, Doc. By Doc, I mean, like, disk cleaner. Or, I don't really know what the proper analog for... Hey, the proper analog for that word would be. Ooh, new personality available. Alright. Let's quit for now. Can we get to the block 3? No, we cannot. Alright, I think we'll need to get into mute. Oh, I didn't even unlock block 3. Hold on. Let me do that real gotta do that. Decrypt block 3. Why is that an invalid block? Oh, do I need the underscore? Block 3. Unknown. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Decrypt block 3. Invalid block. Whoa. Alright. Let's try with no space. Decrypt block 3. There we go. I'm just dumb. And now let's quit. Alright. Let's look at the log. Still don't have block 3 here. Interesting. Can I talk to Hyun-ae? Hi. Yep. Okay. Yo, share that. Yo, come on. Come on. Hey. Yes, please. You can't just keep all that stuff to yourself, hyun-ae. Nah, chill. What is this? Oh, unread messages. Alright. Well, I think this is where we'll end the episode for today. Next episode, we'll probably take a look at... Finish off Block 9, maybe. How much more do we have to go there? Only got a couple more there. We'll take a look at Block 3. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Mute, the security AI. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe, and do all those things. And we'll see you next time on Analogue, a hate story. Peace!